start with our question of the day. As we give them a minute or so to join us, I'm curious to know what interests you, confuses you, or frustrates you about LinkedIn.
So wait, what frustrates us or what?
What confuses or interests? I forgot the other one. So what do you like or what do you not like about LinkedIn? I don't know why I tried to make it so fancy.
To me, it's just confusing in general.
Any particular thing that confuses you about LinkedIn, Eileen? Welcome, Joni.
Hi there.
I mean, I guess the social, I can't say that word. Like the actual interaction you have with people, like that's that part. And like, how do you go and apply for jobs type of thing? Or like, well, how do you search for the job? Like all of that.
Helpful. Thank you. Jennifer.
I've been learning a little more about LinkedIn. I guess sometimes I think recently I, completed something through LinkedIn and it said, do you want having it post sometimes when I don't realize it's going to post for me? Like if you do a certificate and I thought I was just sharing it to my page, but it became a post and went out to everyone, was like, celebrate me. I did this little 90-second thing. Yay. That I felt a little, by the time I realized it had happened, it was kind of too late to pull it back. It wasn't the end of the world, but just me being more I'm being more conscious about what's public and what's not. And is it just going up on my walls? And there's a little box you can check that's like, post this to your network or don't. So in terms of frustrating me, maybe that mostly I just want to learn what TPF hopes that how we can support TPF through LinkedIn, which is I know it doesn't make sense to share everything TPF ever does because then your whole LinkedIn feed is nothing but TPF. You're just, but I'm sure there are ways we can be supportive and helpful.
Thank you, Jennifer. We appreciate you wanting to learn how to best support TPF. And Joni, I also dropped a question of the day in the chat, but you are up, ma'am.
Okay, I think there are just so many options compared to the typical X or the Instagram or Facebook that there's just a lot more to learn, and there's a lot of overkill, easy overkill if you want to go there. And so I want to, keep it tamed down. I'm not looking for a job. I just want to, push digital navigation. So, and the PPF love.
Thank you all for sharing. For myself, I think what just frustrates me sometimes about LinkedIn is like the interface, like too much information at me all at once. Like I wish I could click on something if I want to learn. Like I open up my page and like there's too many things like I'm seeing and it's like overstimulated by information. But I'm using it more and more now and kind of getting familiar with it more and more. I think I was like you, Eileen, and I'm slowly progressing out of everything about this platform. Confuses me, so I hope after today we can get you a little bit more clarity. Now that all of us are here, and before I start sharing my screen, I'm gonna go ahead and take our Tech Excellence screenshot because we always do that because we're at TPF.
Wait.
You ready now, Miss Joni?
I think so. I think I got it fluffed up enough.
3, 2, 1. Got it. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and save it. So in a nutshell, I will just share, if you weren't there for Stacey Sternberg's social media refresher, TPF is still using Twitter, X, whatever it's trying to call itself. But I think we are kind of moving away a bit from X and kind of migrating more onto LinkedIn at this time. Nothing is wrong with you posting on Twitter, on X. You can still continue to do so. throughout if you have a TPF Twitter account, but just know you'll start seeing more activity, we hope, happening in the LinkedIn world. I think if at a bare minimum you wanted to support TPF's presence on LinkedIn, just share, repost, whatever Stacey was sharing on the TPF LinkedIn account, because we know that has been curated for the LinkedIn audience. And if you are wanting to post for yourself in regards to your TPF work, know that that is encouraged as well. But please understand, the audience that is on Twitter, the audience that's on Instagram or Facebook is very different from the audience that is on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is all about building your brand, networking, finding your job. So the people who you're talking to in theory is professionals, business people, job seekers, thought learners. So as Stacey has shared in her social media refresher class, SCGLR type stuff really lends itself well to either Instagram or Facebook, because that's more family oriented or entertainment oriented, or just an update on your personal life, or here's like some fun we had. Not to say, I think I would just the way I would compare LinkedIn to like a Facebook or a Twitter. I feel like LinkedIn is if you go to like a really fancy preppy dinner where you have to be like elegant and sophisticated, whereas Facebook, depending on who you're following on Facebook, may be more like you're just going to a family reunion. You're a little bit more casual, informal, just sharing updates about what you're up to. Whereas LinkedIn, like keeping in mind, LinkedIn is all about your brand as a professional. And yes, TPF is a part of that, but as you'll notice, like all the TPFers who have a TPF account right now, who have a LinkedIn account right now, it's not Kiara Lewis at TPF. It's not Jennifer. It's just Jennifer as herself, as a professional who works for the Patterson Foundation, or who's also involved with other organizations. So you want to make sure that once you have a LinkedIn account, that whatever you're posting is in support of you as a professional, the wonderful things that you are doing as a professional, the things you are engaged in as a professional, or in Jennifer's case, the LinkedIn learning that you're doing to strengthen yourself as a professional. So keeping in mind the content that you're going to be crafting isn't going to be as, look at all the fun we're having at a SCGLR pop-up. It's going to be a little bit more refined, sophisticated, so to speak, because you're talking about this is what I'm doing within my organization, within my roles that I have listed on my LinkedIn profile, which may not just be TPF. You know, it's saying what organizations you work for, but you can also put the ones you volunteer for, just any organizations you're affiliated with. Any overview questions on that before I start sharing my screen and walking you through the aspects of LinkedIn and the features it has for you to kind of get started? Okay, finding my share screen. I'm just fixing myself up. And please know at any time that if you have a question and I don't see you, please just go ahead and just probably don't raise your hand, just start speaking, and I'll start speaking because I may not be looking at it. So everyone should see my screen. Give me a thumbs up if that is correctly. Okay. So this is my LinkedIn profile as it is now. As soon as you log into LinkedIn, you are going to see your LinkedIn feed. So for me, this is what I was talking about when it says something that frustrates me about LinkedIn. For me, this is way too much information, like LinkedIn news. Like I'd never told it I wanted to see this. There's like games now, puzzles you can engage in. I'm like, this is too much information. But anyway, this is your LinkedIn feed, to which you will see kind of like in the Twitter realm, where you will kind of see what are people in your network saying or talking about. So Michael Corley commented on something Susie said. And if I keep scrolling down, I'll see comments, posts, articles from the people that I follow about what are they up to. And there is an option right here if you want to kind of filter your feed by what's top of mind, or what's most popular, or by what's most recent. Those I follow. Well, Kimberly, this is the recent action that's happening from the people in my network, either what they're following, what they're liking, what they're reading, what they're interested in. From your feed is how you can start engaging with people on your network. So I don't know if most people know this, but you can either do a LinkedIn post or you can actually do a LinkedIn article, which I had to do research on what in the world is the difference between these two things. Posts are short little info bites that you could put in your LinkedIn feed. It might be things that have media on it, pictures and videos, or like, so all of these stuff right here are quick little, well, that's a commercial. All of these stuff are quick little posts that people have done. It's gonna be something short and sweet. I'm not talking about like one word short, but maybe like a paragraph and so. Versus like writing an article, I would compare that to like writing a TPF blog. I guess there could be like a topic that you're really passionate about, and you want to share it with your connections and network, or some professional insight learning you want to share with your network, that's when an article would most be appropriate. Or you can just do a post with a photo or a video, and that's how you do that from your computer. Now, when it comes to a couple of metric things, you may see something called impressions. That just refers to how many people see your content and when people are posting it, or how many times that is appearing on people's feed. And then if you are a part of a group, I've learned, because I did not know that, if you are a part of a group, if you're part of a newsletter, if you signed up for any LinkedIn events, you can also access them from there. And this lets me know right here, this is what I'm talking about, how many people have viewed my profile and how many impressions my posts have gotten. So lately, I've been trying to use LinkedIn more to promote the Beyond the Blog podcast. So if you're looking for something to post in regards to TPF, or when you see that morning missive come out about please share the Beyond the Blog podcast, that's something you can share on LinkedIn. A lot of that has to do with philanthropy as a whole, or what is TPF doing in the world of philanthropy. So all this number just means, it just means the total number of times that people have seen my post. How many times it has even appeared on their feed. Not really a social media metric, so I don't look at these numbers so far, but 157 looks good to me, so I'm pleased with that. And then LinkedIn News, like I said, is what's happening, top stories that they've published, some puzzles that you can engage in to keep yourself entertained. I'm not quite sure why that's there, but it is. Next, you have the My Network page. These are people who are sending you an invitation to connect with them. And I did not know this until Andrew taught me this, I believe, if I'm explaining it correctly. If you are not connected to someone, like they're not part of your network, you can send them a note, a certain limit of, like, for example, if I'm not connected to Eileen, I can send Eileen like a little note that says, hey, I want to be connected to you, but you only have so many of those in a month. So until you're connected with someone, like I sent you an invitation and you accept my connection, I can't really engage with you in the LinkedIn world. So these people who I have no idea who they are, I haven't accepted their invite to connect, so they can't send me a message, they can't really engage with me or let me even know that they're interested in what I'm doing, so on and so forth. Based on who you're following or who may be in your network, LinkedIn may reminding everyone again, the whole point of LinkedIn, of course, is to have you linked to different people near and far. So based on the people who I currently have in my network, it's recommending some other people I might be interested in connecting with. And a lot of these names throughout my TPF work I have seen come up, so it's kind of spot on. If I want to click on the catch up, so grow are the new people who are trying to be part of my network.
Can I
Catch up,
just say, like, for the grow stuff, sometimes, especially because you work for a foundation, I usually, unless I know someone, or if they send a note and say, hey, I met you at the thing, sometimes, you can click and look at their full profile before you decide to accept or ignore them. And sometimes I'm like, it's a salesperson who lives somewhere else, who maybe does nonprofit CRM, and I don't work for a nonprofit, it's not relevant for me anymore. So just because you don't have to accept them all into your network, I guess is what I'm saying.
love that. Jennifer, and I love the point you made about you working for a foundation. So a lot of people don't understand, TPF doesn't operate like a lot of different foundations. We're not giving people money. So they see that you're attached or you work for the Patterson Foundation, they want to follow you thinking like you will give them easy access to the money. So I love what Jennifer just said about being very mindful about people who you're accepting invitations from and what is their motive. And how do you even know them? I think that's just a general social media rule in general. Do you really know the people who you're following?
I was contacted by somebody one time when I worked for the Manatee Community Foundation, and I looked them up and I could see they were connected to a few people I knew. So I reached out to those folks like, hey, I see you're connected to this person. Are they legit? And they're like, every single one of them was like, I have no idea who that person was, who
Wow.
that person is, but they were connected. And like, so just, I think it's not like a hard and fast rule. I don't think it really reflects on you or anything, but people do look and see that you're connected. And then
That
if
too.
it's not really somebody you know, that can be kind of awkward.
Very, very much so. So like Jennifer said, that's your growth section, people who want to be connected with you, they are at this time. And then the catch-up section, keeping in mind, there's a lot of things going on in your feed, and there may be some things that you have missed. So if you want to know how to highlight some milestones that people in your network have achieved, like if I wanted to know who changed jobs, which apparently no one did in my network, if you want to know who just had a birthday, who just had a work anniversary, I don't even know what education means. But if you want to kind of know some milestones that people in your network have reached, this is what that catch-up section means. If I want to kind of have like a look of my connections at a whole, all I did was just open up this little column, and if I click connections, I can see the people who I am connected. You can search people, you can use filters, you can do those who you recently just joined, but this is a way to see everyone you are connected to. You can send them a message, which I'm going to use Renee as an example. So the same way Twitter has DMs, I don't know about Facebook because I don't use Facebook, you can send people private like messages on LinkedIn as well. So I have this little message box that's always available here on my LinkedIn where I can compose a message to send to Jennifer or Joni or Eileen or whoever it is, or you can just come here and directly message someone. Something that is interesting about LinkedIn is how it rates or categorizes your connections. I'm going to click on Joni. So you'll see if I click on Joni, you'll see right here that it has a first next to it. Depending on who the person is, you'll find different numbers next to their name. Joni is a first degree connection because we are directly connected.
Oh,
As
kind of
in,
like cousins.
exactly. It is exactly like that. And you have second degree connections, third degree. So second degree connection is if I'm not connected with Eileen, but Joni is, Eileen would become a second connection. Like you're like a friend of a friend or a cousin of a cousin, so to speak. And third connection people are like even further, like a friend of a friend of a friend, which I thought was kind of crazy. I'm like, I didn't even know they do that. But that's all what those numbers mean. The lower the number, the more connected we really are. The further you go down in connection, you're just like a friend of a friend or a cousin of a cousin. Now, going to click on my profile page. And I would say at bare minimum, especially working for the Patterson Foundation, kind of implementing a similar rule that was created kind of with Twitter, with making sure people had like their tagline on Twitter, making sure people had a picture. Make sure you have a picture on your LinkedIn. Not saying it has to be the most beautiful picture, but just find a picture so that we know who you are and we can confirm that whoever said they're Joni Hanson is actually Joni Hanson. And then make sure you take the time to include the most relevant information on your profile, because it looks sketchy when like a profile is kind of blank. Like it says Joni, but we don't know where she works. We don't have nothing about her. Just an example for Joni. Like it provides credibility to you as a professional if we have some details about you. So for my about me, you have this little paragraph about who I am. You have kind of an overview of the posts and things that I've commented. You have my experience at TPF. All I did to add that was the plus sign. You can edit this at any point in time. And if you feel like you're not a great writer, this is where I'm going to do a little bit plug for AI and ChatGPT. You can give this to ChatGPT and be like, hey, here's a little bit about me. Create a strong LinkedIn profile. And then you, of course, you review it and make sure it sounds how you want it to sound and not just copying and pasting, but understanding that not everyone feels like they're a strong writer, or you just really want to put your best foot forward as a professional. You can give AI these cues of please create this, or please describe this project that I'm working on. And then you list it. Some skills that you have. People can give you recommendations that just once again prove your credibility of whether it's projects or whatever it is. You can ask them for a recommendation, whoever you work with. And once again, this just justifies your credibility as a professional working on whatever. And the different courses that I did. So all of this I customized once upon a time. I do encourage you to try to keep this thing updated. Like, it'd be kind of weird if Jennifer said she's still working at the Manatee Community Foundation, even though she's not. That's a little bit confusing. Just an example, but she's not.
Well,
Any
and
que-
like I have a friend who changed jobs several months ago, but just updated her LinkedIn profile and didn't realize didn't unclick the box. So it posted so everybody's like, oh, you have a promotion or a new job. And it was like a long time ago and not up, but because she hadn't updated her LinkedIn, it pushed it out. So if you don't keep it up to date, then I don't know, then sometimes that embarrassing stuff happens.
Keep your profile. I'm not saying you have to, every finite detail needs to be on point, but the big information, where do you go to school? Where are you currently working at? Please have those main information updated. And something that I think that's cool, this is your personal profile link, which you can share with someone. Technically, they could just look up your name, but some people have very common names, so maybe it might be difficult to find them, but you can always share your unique profile URL with someone, and that's how they'll immediately find your profile. Also know that your LinkedIn profile can serve as a resume. I think if there's anything I love about LinkedIn is like how it can take your profile and make it into a resume for you. If I go to resources and I click to save to PDF, everything that I have in my LinkedIn profile turns into like an easy, handy dandy resume. Which I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. Nowadays, I feel like resumes, well, you probably don't want a resume this long. But hey, it's giving you a start. So just know that's a resource that they have. And all I did is just went to resources from here. And then saved it as PDF. And now I kind of have this resume format. Any questions people may have so far on this that I can be helpful with? Know that you have these little analytics section, but know that only you see that. No one is seeing that. And I'm just gonna say this because I feel like I always get this little notification from LinkedIn. Posting at least one time a week gets you increased visibility in the LinkedIn world. Do I post at least one time a week? I'm going to probably start doing it to help promote Beyond the Blog. But if you write a blog on TPF, on the TPF that gets published on the TPF, like that's the type of thing that's worth sharing on the link in the LinkedIn network world. If you've done something, if you're doing something amazing, something interesting, working on a project, and you're kind of not everyone is working just for TPF, that's something. Or if you took a course, professional development, all that is worth doing a post about, even if it's 2 sentences on your LinkedIn page. Then we have this job section. I don't know how it knew, well, probably, I don't know how, I don't know how it knew what to recommend to me. But once I click on jobs, going back to what you were saying, Eileen, this is how you can search for different jobs that you're looking for. I'm just gonna put research project. So I put research project, I just put anywhere in the US, and now it's showing me some things that I could apply for all throughout the US. And then I think from this point, it's kind of reminding you of like an Indeed or a Monster and so on and so forth. And then you can customize the settings based on what you're really looking for, the location you're looking for, the salary you're looking for, and etc. like I said, messaging, if you want to send people private messages, keeping in mind that the person has to be connected to you in order for you to send them a message. If they're not connected to you, you can only send them a note, which, I don't know, I'm just gonna type in a name and see what pops up so that I can show you. Jane Grog, I have no idea who that is. Oh, I'm following her. Okay. Maybe this person who I'm not connected to. So, oh, I don't want to do a connect. Can you remind me, Jennifer, do you know how to send someone a note? I don't want to follow this person. There is a way, I'm not finding it anymore. LinkedIn continues to evolve where some things are page featured.
I think I wouldn't do it with somebody you don't know. So if you and I aren't connected, maybe try it. Or you could like try my husband or something. He'll forgive us. But
I think I am
because I
following.
think if you hit connect and then it gives you the option to send direct or add a message, we're already connected.
Yeah. And Eileen, you don't have a LinkedIn yet, do you?
I do have one, but it's super old and I haven't touched it in years.
Is it your name?
Yes,
Oh, there she is. She's trying to hide from us.
like that picture,
So
I think I was like 19, I'm 36.
I was gonna say, were you working at Dairy Queen or something?
I think if you do that, if you hit connect, I think it's going to give you the option to do a message or not. There you go.
What I thought. So just wanted to simulate that for everyone. If you are not connected to someone, you can't send them like a private message. All you can do is send them like a note, like, hey, I'll add a note and be like, hey, Eileen, I want to be connected. And I want you to pay attention to here. You only have 5 invitations per month with this free version of LinkedIn. So I can only send someone who I'm not connected to 5 personalized, hey, let's get connected note.
I think you can do it if you don't send a note.
Okay, so I can.
I think the ones, if you want a note, I think that's limited. I think.
No, I agree with you. So if you were going back to what Jennifer had said earlier, like if I wanted the opportunity to tell Eileen how I know her, like we met at a conference last week, like I can only do that type of thing 5 times. I can always request to be part of her network, but to create this little note with additional information about how we met or why I want to be connected, I can only do that 5 times in a given month. Which if the person doesn't know you, having that note is kind of helpful that we met at FPN or we met at the Sunkles Connect Symposium. Does anyone have any questions at this time? Keeping in mind that I would encourage you to follow the TPFers who are currently in LinkedIn, because as we start to get more and more TPFers who choose to be on LinkedIn, they're going to be posting a lot of things that they're doing with TPF or even beyond that might be worth you just resharing, reposting, or commenting on. I think TPF does a really great job. TPFers do a really great job of doing that on Twitter. Like all the time I'm seeing people posting and reposting and liking and commenting. And it would be nice if we can kind of recreate that culture onto LinkedIn as well. Going to see if I can find something that the Patterson Foundation has said recently. So not saying you have to do it every time, but it would be nice if someone says something that was really interesting, really engaging, give it a like. Or if you hover over the like button, you have an option to continue to like it, celebrate it, support it, love it, and find it insightful or find it funny. You can also make a comment about it, or you can always repost it. And if you repost it, it just appears to your network as if you said it. It's gonna say like, oh, Eileen liked X, Y, and Z, what Sarah said, or like what Jennifer said. And that just creates a ripple effect to where now people on your network are gonna be connected to what it is Sarah Leonard had to say. And you also get this list of people who have interacted via these little emojis with the post. Something I also want to point out is that when you are doing a post on LinkedIn, so the same way Twitter has handles, if you want to add a person or an organization, like if I want, I'm not gonna do TPF because TPF it always becomes a pain for me. Like if I want to say something to Jennifer, unlike Twitter where the @ sign will remain, once it connects to Jennifer, like the @ sign disappears and her name will become bold. So now when I post this, Jennifer is gonna get a notification that Kiara said something about her. But it'll be good, I promise. And so you can, once again, all I did, type in the person's, and unlike Twitter, where sometimes you're a little bit like, oh, well, what's Eileen's handle? Because everyone can do like a different variation. It could be Eileen P, it could be Eileen's full name. On LinkedIn, there's not really like a aliases. It's going to be or should be just the person's name. So it should be relatively easy to find. So I got to put the first few letters of Deborah's name. She appears, clicks on it, and now Deborah will get a notification that I said something about her. And like Twitter, hashtags can be used as well, which just makes your post easily categorized in the internet world. You can add emojis, you can add videos, you can add photos, you can create an event about something that you said, or you have more, like you can even do posts on LinkedIn and more. And then the great thing I like for free is that you can schedule your posts, which I have definitely been doing for Beyond the Block so that I can stagger them out. Like maybe I don't want to send this now, but over the course of March, maybe I want to do a series of posts celebrating Suncoast Connect or promoting FDF offerings or promoting something that's happening in the GAP digital navigation world. The little clock schedule for later is where I would go and then pick my date and time, and then it'll go off as scheduled. And I don't have anything to share right now. And I think all in all, when it comes to any social media platform that you're using, I think sometimes it can be easy to just write something up and hit post. But I think remembering that whatever you do post is a representation of you as an individual, but also by extension of the organizations you work for or volunteer with. So please remember to always put your best foot forward. And as you are posting, especially as things related to TPF, just make sure that your post is in alignment with TPF approaches and values. So making sure it goes back to closest, it goes back to TPF different values or LWRCC. And I think, like Cece said, all TPFers are pretty good at making sure whatever they post is meaningful, engaging, joyful stewardship, not offensive, and et cetera, et cetera. Know that your post is more likely to get a positive reception if it does come with some type of image or some type of video versus just being a whole bunch of words, because as a society, we're being drawn more and more to less words, more visuals of some kind. Any particular questions people have before we do one walkthrough class practice assignment? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing and kind of stop talking now. For the first part of this class practice assignment, I want everyone to find hopefully at least 3 TPFers you are not connected with that you can connect with. Because remember, LinkedIn is all about building connections. What better people to build connections with than those you are working with at the Patterson Foundation? And if you are not sure who is on LinkedIn, I can also look on Minds. Oh. I can also look on Minds to see if I can give you some hinters. Deborah is definitely a good one to follow if you are not following yet. And it doesn't have to be people who you work with on like, it doesn't have to be people you work with on a TPF initiative. It can be people you haven't worked with on a TPF initiative. So Sandra Vega Pachetti has one, Erica Henry has one, Andrew has one, Sherry Ayler. Just saying these people to help you find your 3. Not saying you have to follow them particularly. Lindsay has one.
Melissa has one.
Melissa has one.
I just found her.
Sherry Courier has one. Alicia Xantis has one. So hopefully in the next couple months we can help build the TPF presence on LinkedIn. But we're getting there. Michael Corley has one. But all you gotta do is find at least 3 people, and once you find your 3, you can give me a thumbs up so we can continue on.
Deborah doesn't have a picture on hers.
No, she does.
She does.
She does. Oh, I
And-
think that might be her old profile because she did used to work at the Selby Foundation.
No, but there's one that says the Patterson Foundation, but it also doesn't show a picture. It says that you're a friend, Cynthia's a friend.
Interesting. Does it say she's the president and CEO of the Patterson Foundation?
Yeah.
Wonder if that's a glitch. Try following it. But hers definitely have a picture. I don't know why it appears that way. I only see one. I only see 2 Deborah Jacobs. One where it says she's the president at Selby Foundation, but
Yeah, I saw that one too, but no.
okay.
Yeah,
So,
this is her because she's part of the DA4A group too, so
oh, that's a glitch.
weird.
But sometimes you're not doing anything wrong. It's just technology glitching out.
Okay, so I have more than my 3.
Wonderful. Joni, you got your 3?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Just add a note and then I'll. Yes, I'm done.
And are all of you in the DA4A group at this time?
Yes.
I sent the request, but how do I know if I was accepted?
That's a good point. If you're at home, Eileen, on your homepage,
Oh, no, wait, yeah, it says one mutual group. Yeah,
okay, then yes, you are in.
yeah.
Because I don't want everyone to put this, whatever we're about to post in the general LinkedIn world, I'd rather keep it condensed to the DA4A group, which is at this time, but we're trying to expand it. It's pretty much just a whole bunch of TPF where I want everyone to practice putting some type of post into the DA4A group chat. It could be related to this class, it can be related to digital skills, it can be related to AI. It can be about that class you just took, Jennifer. It could be about the USF course that's going on. Whatever you think is meaningful.
Now or like just for homework in the next?
Yeah.
Now. Okay,
Please.
you got it.
The homework,
Wait, we're gonna post something? What do we post? I have to think.
something into the DA4A group chat. This is twofold. I don't know if any of you have even engaged in a LinkedIn chat group before. And then what's interesting is once you hit submit or whatever, it's not gonna pop up immediately, because the great thing about having a group is that you can set it up to where you're a moderator and the moderator has to accept everything that's submitted before it's posted.
Wait, so can you show how to do?
How to get to the group?
I mean, I think I'm in the group.
Well, it should say digital access for all discussion group. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, and then you can just put where it says start a public post.
Okay.
It sounds counterintuitive because it seems like you're gonna post to your entire LinkedIn world, but you can
Yeah.
start a public post. And at the top where it says, what do you want to talk about? Right above your name, it'll say post to digital access for all discussion group. So that's how you know you're not really posting to the entire LinkedIn world.
Okay. And then what do we say?
whatever you want to say that's related to digital access for all. It can be about this class that you took, it could be about LinkedIn, it could be about the Gap, it can be about AI.
Like, is this gonna actually post, or are you guys gonna review and like and delete it?
And that's gonna actually post.
No, okay.
Which, Eileen, your blog got published yet? If it did, I'm gonna look. You did a really great blog recently. That would be
Oh, Sandra, that's writing.
a wonderful blog. It's not published yet.
Well, how do you know if you have one pending? Because the other day when you were saying, Joni, post your blog to DA4A, and I put it on there and it was like, okay, I thought I did it. And then it didn't like go into a pending and I kept kind of like, so I did it. I think I did it again because it didn't look like I did it right. So you probably had 10 blogs on there for me. Yeah.
Lindsay, reach out to Lindsay. Lindsay is overseeing it. She would be the one.
Oh.
So if you see it's not popping up, just reach out to Lindsay to see if it actually went through.
Oh, okay.
So
No,
you
but
want
I see a post from Joni from 3 weeks ago. I think it is.
oh,
Digital,
okay.
digital accessibility today is no longer a luxury, but a necessity.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, it's
So
from,
which, I mean, no one is saying anything like crazy to which for something to not get posted. So you should see it appear when you submit it to Lindsay for review.
You should see it up where?
Whenever you send something to be posted in DA4A chat,
Okay.
it's not gonna appear immediately, but I would say within like 2 days. I don't think Lindsay's waiting even 2 days to accept it, but give her at least 2 days, given her
Oh, recent. Okay, yeah. Okay.
just give me a thumbs up whenever you've done your DA4A blog. Thank you, Jennifer. Knowing that it's not gonna pop up now, but I'm trusting that you did it.
I feel like I need to do research before I post something. Like, what am
What-
like,
If Eileen, you can just go to the DA. I can drop that link for you. I don't want to make this more. If anything, you can share one of the DA4A related blogs that's listed here. I make it easy. And of course, and then one last thing before we close, something I want to demonstrate is what I was talking about when it came to the using the AI to just upskill, beef up your profile, what you might consider using that, Eileen, to update your profile from when you were from back in the day. I'll show you what did that look like in real time. Which LinkedIn, as most platforms now, are having an AI component to what they're offering to people, but a lot of them have like some type of fee attached. And for right now, ChatGPT is still free. So why not use a free version? So I'm just gonna go ahead and share my screen real quick to just kind of show you what I'm doing. Update my LinkedIn profile to emphasize, I'm gonna say my communication skills. So this is a prompt. I'm just copying and pasting whatever I have right now on my LinkedIn profile. I'm gonna delete those for 2 seconds. That's not relevant. So I just started to update what I currently have, focusing on communication. But you can say whatever you want. You can focus on leadership, empathy, connection, collaboration. And of course, it's thinking. And now it's spitting out for me this new profile that emphasizes what I told it to emphasize. But of course, you're gonna read this and be like, Is this really what I wanted to say? Yes or no? And so you can do this with every part of your LinkedIn profile. You can start with the about you, you can start with your education. When it comes to what you do at TPF or what you do in any of your organizations, you can give it 1 or 2 sentences and then it can flesh it out for you to make it sound more robust. So don't just say, I make spreadsheets all day. You do more than just make spreadsheets, and ChatGPT can help you communicate that versus you spending 1 hour. And how do I communicate what I do on my job? Because I do more than just spreadsheets. For example. And when it comes to the homework, which of course I will be sending out an email because I don't expect you to remember all this, is that there are different components. Some people already have a well-established LinkedIn, so some parts of this may not be relevant to you. But the first part of the homework is definitely to update your profile to make sure your picture, your content about you really brands whoever you are as a professional. Make sure you have your experiences, your education, and your skills. We're trying to make sure there are no blinks on your profile so you look credible as a professional. I'm gonna have you submit like the resume format of your file to me. I'm gonna have you send me a couple of messages on LinkedIn. Now that we are all connected, you should have no problem sending me a message. I'm gonna have you create a LinkedIn post about something. And then I'm actually gonna have you do a LinkedIn article because we don't really do that often, but just because it is a feature that I want people to feel comfortable to kind of see what the difference looks like versus a post and an article. So then as you move forward, as you create more content, you can have a more informed decision. Should this really be a post that I'm used to doing, or should it actually be an article for X and Y, Z reasons? And then when you submit the homework for me, ideally, preferably send all of these elements all in one email to me. Because if the homework assignments are separated into different emails, that makes things a lot more difficult for me, and you're more likely to get your homework reviewed a little bit later, only because I have to do all that searching to find the different pieces. And keeping in mind that you will see it says a 1-week deadline, but that's only like a goal to give people something to strive to, because I don't want you to forget that you took this class and need to submit homework. But if you end up sending it like a week, 2 weeks later, like there really is no point in time where you can't submit homework for a class that you did. As we wrap up, does anyone have anything I can be helpful with? Continued questions, concerns, knowing that it is a learning process. The more you use it, the more you get comfortable with it.
So is the homework you're going to send basically the same one you sent the other day? Because I printed that one out.
You get an A+, Joni. Yes, it is.
Well, I wasn't trying to get that, but I just don't want to do the wrong one.
No, same one. Same
Okay,
one.
thank you.
Were you gonna say something, Eileen?
No, I was just gonna say that I have to team up with ChatGPT to get my my profile updated.
Yeah, yeah. But the great thing is, it's part of your homework. Like,
Yay.
we look forward to seeing the new and improved profile of Eileen.
I might need to find an AI website that helps me get a picture too.
Yeah, and TPF doesn't have guidelines yet about using AI for photos. I will just say, if you use it for photos for you, just make sure it looks like you.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't want to post something that looks, I've seen some stuff out there that's like,
Me
why?
I've seen advertised to me on LinkedIn a headshot generator. Like you submit an actual picture of you and it just strips out the background and puts a more professional shirt on you and
Yeah,
zhuzhes up your face a little bit. I haven't
That's-
used it, but it seems like it would work.
that's pretty much what I want. I know my friend sent me a link of, there's a website, you do have to pay for it. It's like $35, but you get 180 pictures, I think it is.
180.
Wow.
Yeah, 180. And they're like all over the place. Obviously, there's really good ones, but there's also some that are out there. But it's like the closest to a good headshot that she was able. She tried a few websites and that was like the best one.
Here we
so.
go. Insta headshots. INSTA headshots, all as one word, is the one that keeps getting world's most trusted headshot generator, they claim. So that's what's maybe, maybe I can click on it and put the link in the chat. Hold on.
Please,
Yes, please.
That
I
is
typed it, but I
what,
don't think that's right. Whatever I typed.
I put my husband to work. I put a black sheet over a door, gave him the camera and some light, and I said, here, go for it. Took a bunch of pictures and we figured out which one we liked, and boom, free.
Oldie but a
Oh.
goodie.
it's gonna be, here's their website.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
gonna be better.
minutes, okay.
There you go.
Good. Instagram.
Yeah,
That's
and
okay.
the
Insta.
Insta.
I can't vouch
makes-
for it. I don't know how much it is. I just know they really think I need it because I get served that ad like 10 every day.
Ruh-roh.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
I've seen it as well, Jennifer, you're not alone.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, so I'm going to try it because I got a little bit of time before I do some real work. So if I have a sample to send to all of you, I will send it in addition to your homework. But please know I appreciate the fact that you are taking this time to kind of learn how you can either make use of other features of LinkedIn, get comfortable with it to continue to promoting yourself as a professional, but also the wonderful work that you are doing as a TPFer.